Hello there, thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and I present today McKinley Morganfield. That's right, also known as Muddy Waters, his stage name, on this beautiful 1968 Jumbo Globe concert poster from Denver, Colorado. Boy, I'll tell you, I usually prefer my Globe posters to have several colors or a couple of colors or something. Don't quite lean in toward the monochromatic look. But when you talk about this purple, this light purple, I just think it's got to be, don't know about you, but it's probably my favorite color to be appearing on a poster like this, and I'd actually rather have this gorgeous thing than two or three other colors. I just think it sings and looks absolutely beautiful. It's just really, and there are not like there's a lot of others like it. I'm not sure I've seen another Globe monochromatic with just this, purple lavender, whatever it is. It's just really nice. And then you've got the contrast of his name. Look at that. Big, solid black, 5-inch tall letters, big Muddy Waters. As they play off the purple, it just really smokes. It's just really a nice, simple design, of course, typical boxing style, but just a wonderful, wonderful presentation. So, this big jumbo window card was made for a week's worth of shows just before the spring of 1968 at this club in Denver called the Voters Club. It was sort of a smallish second-floor club that no longer exists in Denver. And, Muddy's career was kind of in a lull, I guess you could say, to be honest, sort of in between the early 60s, the British blues revival that had, Americans going over and performing in the American folk blues festivals, which was a real resurgence, and of course the late 70s, where you had Muddy on Blue Sky Records and experiencing a fun renaissance, aided in playing along with people like Johnny Winter on that label. But here in the late 1960s, there wasn't too much going on, so Marshall Chess, producer and co-founder of Chess Records, needless to say, took Muddy into the studio a couple of months after this, in May of 1968, and coupled him up with psychedelic elements and musicians, and the result was Electric Mud. But still not, Muddy Waters and psychedelia obviously just don't work necessarily that well together. So, moving in a little bit to show you the top here, it's not quite venue-in. This is not a tour blank, this is a one-off thing that was used just for these club dates, for a week worth of dates. But as you can see, it does say Voters Club up there on Welton Street in Denver, and 1 week only, March 12 through 17. Typical for club dates, you've got 5 nights from about 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. and then Sunday is more of an afternoon thing, and sure enough it does say 3 to 8 p.m. on Sunday. Interestingly, this poster has no mention at all of admission price. Then you've got it, in person, Muddy Waters, and interestingly an old picture of Muddy. It's okay, it's the Muddy we know, but it's at least 15 years old by this point, possibly even the late 40s. But then in between the Muddy and the Waters, look at that, you have one word which is not only this poster's head scratcher, but one of the biggest, okay, I'll call it head scratchers, I've ever encountered on a concert poster, because nobody can make head nor tails of it. Now, my initial research didn't turn up any song that would be close, like Ma and Pa or something like that. Pa's even misspelled in that case, or perhaps a nickname for Muddy. So I'm lucky, having worked in the music business my entire life, I turned to some friends who have great contacts in the blues world, and even enlisted people like Muddy Waters' biographer and stuff like that, and nobody can make head nor tails of why Pa is there. So all we can think of was, it was sort of, an inside joke with the printer, or Muddy and this club promoter, a very short-termed whatever, inside joke. What else can you say? And here we are, over, half a century later, just, wondering what it meant, but we'll just have to chalk it up as a mystery of this particular concert poster. And then, not so much a mystery, is right under his name. You have a song title there, and an album title, very typical, of course, for Globe posters. And the first thing is the single, his most recent single, 1967's Bird Nest on the Ground. Now, to say that Muddy was not a singles artist is an understatement. I mean, he never charted anything on the Hot 100 and Billboard, and his last R&B chart record was 1958, last one of his career. But still, periodically, Chess Records would put them out, and but interestingly, his last 24 singles on Chess Records never touched the R&B or any chart in Billboard. So he just, I'm thinking that maybe Globe Poster put the single on there by rote, You know, they were designing the poster and they might have said to management or something, just give us the name of his latest single. That's all we want. We always put them on posters. We'll just throw it on there. So maybe that's how it got on there. And underneath that, you do have his most recent album. And that would be, you know, well, actually, I wanted to point out first that, you know, as far as a 67 single on there, why didn't they just put something like Hoochie Coochie Man or Manish Boy? I mean, that's what you're trying to do, is draw people into the club, so you think that would have been a lot more effective. But anyway, below that is not another song title. It is his most recent album, which was a compilation in 1967, More Real Folk Blues. But unfortunately, it's also one of the first of two major typos on this poster. And as you can see, it's actually written out as Rear Folk Blues, which, you know, it's just got to be embarrassing for the typesetter, but I don't know if word ever got back to Baltimore that it was such an error. So, you know, that's unfortunate. And then the next typo is right after that, as you can see. If you're a blues fan at all, legendary Otis Spann on piano, a Chicago blues great in the Blues Hall of Fame, is called Otis Shan on this poster. So, you know, that's a couple of tough ones to take if you want this up on your wall. But, you know, these things just happen. And then finally, you can see down there, it does say, and his six-piece orchestra with Clearwater's vocalist. And that would be referring to the well-known blues singer at the time, Eddie Clearwater, who sometimes went as Clearwaters, occasionally, and certainly, I suppose, when he was playing with Muddy. So boy, there you have it, just blues, super legend, the most popular guy possibly ever to sing the blues, certainly in America, and Muddy Waters with a, you know, just a beautiful looking huge globe window card from '68. Just love this purple. So, hope you enjoyed it too. Thanks a lot for coming by. We'll see you next time for something soon. Bye-bye.